Well, hello there. I have my glass of carrot and ginger and orange juice. I have your beautiful smiles and welcome to day 54 of Sonia's Adventures. My name, for all of you guys who don't know me, is Sonia. I'm from Munich in Germany and I'm a LARPer. I'm part of the LARP group Braka, which is one of the biggest LARP groups in Germany, and I do live action roleplay for about 7 or 8 years now. And today I would like to talk to you about 3 tips on how to make your LARP outfit a lot better instantly. But before I start, as usually, I would like to test if you can actually see and hear me. So if you join this Facebook live stream, then just press the heart emoji. So I'm pretty sure that you can actually hear me, because I'm never really sure. Just press the heart emoji, and if you like, just comment below. I'm gonna try to see if I can actually see you. Hey Dominic, nice to see you. And as usual, for all of you who already do live action roleplay, please help each other out. We just hit the 2,000 likes. Woo woo! So there's 2,000 people on my page who are interested in live action roleplay. That's so great. So just use that community, use it, and comment below and share your tips for good LARP outfits or for whatever you guys want to connect each other with. So let me just see if this actually works. Hi, Mate. Nice to see you. Hi, Ollie. I see Mark. Hi, hoo-hoo. If you guys comment below, it takes a bit of time if I can actually see it. So don't worry, I'll take a sip of my beautiful orange ginger carrot juice. Hi, William. Perfect. There's more and more people joining. I see more and more heart emojis. That's amazing. So as usual, I start with a bit of my experience, with a bit of my tips. And then later on, I will have time for your question and answers. And I will later on comment below as well, so we can all stay in contact and do a bit of conversation. All right, guys, let's start. The 3 tips on how to make your LARP outfit better instantly. The first one for me is to add layers. This is actually a tip I got from a good friend, and it's true, because what you want to ask yourself is, how can I break down huge areas of one block colors? For example, you see a lot of people on medieval markets, and they have like their one medieval outfit, and they have their cloak, and it's one color. It's usually black, and they're very proud of their outfit. But something isn't quite cool, you know, like it's not really the perfect outfit yet. Why? Because you have this big chunk of black fabric, and it just doesn't really add up. So what you can do, and I actually did with my cloak, and I'll quickly show it to you. It's really easy. As you know, I'm not a big crafter. I hate crafting, but this is really easy. So I had this big cloak, right? And it was all one color, right? One color. There we go. It's blue. And I just added a bit of fabric on top of it, which is our clan fabric. It's actually made only for the Baraka. We did that ourselves. And a bit of fur that I got from eBay for like 40 euro. It was a cloak, a whole coat of fur that I got. And I just mixed it all up, and now it has different layers. It's not just one big chunk of blue anymore, but it's layers of different kinds, and it just makes it more natural somehow. So you want to think about your pants, for example, or whatever you're wearing. Is your whole legs just one color? Then break it up. And the way you can do that is add layers. Or if you're having maybe a different kind of character where layers don't really fit, then why don't you add patches of different fabric? Or how about you ripped your clothes at one point and you just stitch it up with a different color? Or if you're more like a, I don't know, posh character or something, because I get this argument a lot. It's like, nah, I can't do that. I'm a very posh character. I don't know, a king, queen, whatever, a highness. Well, you can still use embroidery, for example, stitching of some sorts, different colors. There's nowhere you need to have one big fabric of one color. There's no excuse for that. You can actually almost every time switch it up somehow. So that would be my first tip. think about how you can break down huge areas of one block colors into smaller patches. Now, my second tip is ask yourself, how can I add more detail? Now, this comes to a lot of things on your clothes, and it's actually something that we in our clan learned later as well. It's a rookie mistake not to add details, because you're like, okay, so I have pants and I have shoes and I have a shirt and I have a cloak. That's it, fully clothed. But the thing is, the magic comes with the details. And with us at the Braka Toy, our secret is to add more necklaces. The more necklaces, the better. Actually, chains everywhere. We have little chains everywhere and little stuff that you can add. The more little gimmicks you add, the better your outfit gets. And I'm really lazy with that. But the more I do, and actually the funny thing is, the more I go on LARPs, the more chains I get, the more necklaces I get as presents, which is really cool. So I usually have even more, but all of those, they all have some sort of history, some sort of connection with my character, and it just adds more layers. So speaking of details and little gimmicks that you can just hang somewhere. Do you see this belt here? This was made by a friend of mine. She's also in our clan. It also has a meaning, but it's just some little thing that there's nothing actually that I would use from this. There's no use or no purpose for this, but it just hangs there. There is a history and a story behind it, but it just adds to all the little things and gimmicks and stuff that hangs around. Also, a good tip about details is that you, wait, I just lost my fabric here, right? That a lot of people forget their faces and they forget their hair when it comes to details. A lot of things you can do, like, of course, we as women have it easier because we can braid our hair, even though a lot of you guys out there have long hair as well. You can use hats, you can use helmets, and most importantly, you can use your face as well. I mean, the face war paint that I have here is just one example of things you can do. Think about scars, for example, or moles, or whatever it is that makes your face more detailed too. So yeah, that's what I would definitely ask myself, is how can I add more details? Also, think about what would your character actually have with them if they didn't have a tent somewhere where they would put all their clothes that they didn't need. You know, what would they actually have with them, on them, that they need every day? So for me, for example, it's this little axe that I have with me all the time because I need it. It's basically my kind of dagger, and it comes in really handy. Also, it's gadgets like, I don't know, horns to drink from, or all kinds of little things that you just need with you. Actually, think about spending a day outside and the kind of gadget that your character needs. Is he or she an alchemist? Does he need something like that around? For example, our druid in our clan heals with blood. So back in the day, he used to have to run back to the camp to get fake blood and then come back, or have like a bowl of blood with him at all times. But that's not really handy, right? You don't run around and have a bowl of blood with you at all times. That just doesn't make sense. So now he has a thing where he can pump the blood from on his, however you call that, the thing you walk with, stick. The stick he walks with. He has a little tiny hidden treasure where he can just pump the blood out and then he can heal with the blood. So those are the kind of add-ons, the kind of gimmicks you want to add to your outfit to make it more detailed. So that's tip number 2. Think about how you can add more details to your outfit. For example, necklaces, things you can hang somewhere. Those would be tip number 2. And tip number 3 is something that you're probably all waiting for if you're a LARPer of a long time, is more dirt. The question is, how can I make it look like I'm actually using this outfit all the time. Your character is in this outfit 24/7. He or she might have a second outfit, and yes, for all you posh characters out there, you're going to wash your clothes at some point. That's true. I mean, my character doesn't, but there's others out there who for sure will at some point wash their clothes. But that doesn't mean that you don't use it, that there's no kind of stains to it, something that has ripped. I mean, if you're going to battle, you will bleed at one point. You will fall on the grass. And I don't know if you guys have children or ever played in the grass before, you know that there's stains. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, before your first con, go out there and make it as if it's all used. Give it like 1 or 2 cons, 1 or 2 events, and your things are going to look used. But just don't make it so, you know, like don't put it in the washing machine right away after and make it all perfectly clean. Or, for example, what I did here with the shoulders. Here, I don't know if you can see that, I cut in there and then I sewed it back together. It's those kind of little tiny details that make it look used. Or with this outfit, with the braca, we usually when we eat with our hands only, we don't use cutlery. So we eat and then we dig really deep into it and also the fat and stuff, and then we wipe it off on our clothes. With leather, of course, that's perfect. It depends on your character. I mean, if you're some sort of posh high queen of whatever, then you might not do that. But for sure, you're going to drag your long clothes and long dresses along the way, and there's dirt. So you're going to see that you actually use it. That's the purpose, you know, like rip it up, have a little thing here and there where you can see, that character is actually on that world more than 2 days per year. And guys, there's one thing that a lot of people forget, and that's their faces. A lot of people may have the most beautiful outfits, but they somehow forget that their face gets dirty as well. And I mean, of course, you don't have to go at full on dirt and rip it off all the time, but it makes such a big difference if you think about that. If you put some, I mean, we as wild characters can of course put blood in our faces, but if you're not that kind of guy, well, maybe you want to have a bit of ash or a bit of, you know, a bit of wrinkles, scars, something that gives it more depth, that gives it more the feeling as if you're an actual character and actually is and lives in that world and, you know, gets their hands dirty, especially if you're a warrior. Especially if you're a warrior. I mean, you go out there and you fight and you sweat, and yeah, because you're a person of the 21st century, you go and shower afterwards. But your character might not. And your character might still have some sort of stains. So you should definitely make sure that you can see that you actually not get used, but you know, like that your clothes get used, that your outfit gets used, that your weapons get used, that there's bloodstains somewhere. Those kind of things would be tip number 3. Think about, how can I make my outfit look more used? All right, so those would be my personal 3 tips on how to make any LARP outfit better. Tip number 1 is, how can I break down large areas of one color blocks into smaller patterns? Tip number 2, how can I add more detail? How can I add chains and necklaces and little trinkets and little gadgets to make it more detailed? And tip number 3 is, how can I make my outfit look more used, and how can I look my whole character look more used? Can I think about my face, my hair, my hands? What can I add to make it look like he's actually or she's actually in that world 24/7? All right, those would be my personal tips. Now I'm very, very curious to see your kind of tips. Give me a moment to just scroll through the many, many comments I just saw. Wow, 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 there's a lot. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, Gernot. All right. Danny asks, wolf or bear? Do you mean my skull? neither. Or else I would be like this because it's so heavy. No, I think it's I don't know the English word, to be fair. Dax, whatever that is. Jan, thank you. He just said you are the best. Well, thank you. Don't think so, but thank you. Fabi says no pants, more skirts. Yes. All of our guys. He's actually the high king of our clan, the guy you saw in the picture today. All of our guys in our clan wear skirts, wear leather skirts, and they're big fans. Actually, they're like, oh, finally I'm on a con again. I can finally wear a skirt again. I envy you girls for wearing skirts in normal life, because apparently there's a whole air circulation going on that I'm not going into that. It's apparently really handy. All right. Marcus says, that is the exact reason why I'm currently making a backpack for my character, is he is traveling for long periods of time. Yes, that's something actually I've thought of as well. We have an orc in our clan, Alex. He's a really cool role player as well, and he has an amazing outfit. And he actually has built himself a huge backpack where he can carry with him everything he needs on that con, because he is very into, you know, like he really dives into that world, and he really thinks about what would my orc have with him or her. And actually for all of us, it's really handy, because you sit somewhere and you're like completely exhausted, and there's this huge orc. He's gigantic. He's really huge. And he comes next to me and he's like, Scown, that's my name in character. Scown, do you need something to eat? And then he pulls out like a Snickers or something out of his many, many bags that he has, or probably something that is more in time as well. But it's just so handy to have here an orc with a lot of bags with you. Jonathan says, for washable garb, hang it dry after the event, then wash it in cold water with no detergent. Yeah, that's what I mean, you know, like I get it that you would wash your clothes. It makes total sense that you would take care of your clothes. But if you've ever worn something more than a few days, if you've ever been outdoors, you know that there is going to rip something is going to break, something is going to get dirty. There is no way around it. And even if you wash it, then you'll still see stains. I mean, there's a reason why we always buy new clothes, right? So, I mean, it's those kind of things that make it more dimensional. All right. Fabi said they forgot the beard. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a big fan of beards with guys, which you can have either opinion of. I'm not going to say my opinion to that. It's case it's different, and I'm gonna get hurt by Fabi. Mark is oh yeah. Or actually, Mark, you put me into it. You give me an idea. He just wrote in German. That's why I'm gonna try to translate it quickly. He wrote something about how you can use down your clothes with different sorts of stones and stuff. Actually, guys, if you want to have like really good videos on how to make your outfits more into like a used look, there's a guy, a friend of mine, who has an amazing channel. I'm going to link it down below later on. And his Nuclear Snail Studios, and he's actually really, really cool. Dimitri, he's doing lots of post-apocalyptic stuff, and he's having like whole how-to videos on exactly that topic, and you should definitely check him out, because he's just amazing and he can explain it so much better than I can. All right. All right, if you have any more questions, hello Neely. Oh yeah, Badger, thanks for Gary, sorry, just reading the comments. Yeah, Peter says that you should polish your armor. Actually, at the Baraka, we do the exact opposite. We try to make it as dirty as possible, and we leave it even outside, so it gets, you know, like all weathered down, and then we ride on it and all that kind of thing. So we make our armor very used, but of course there's knights and stuff that take care of their armor and make it very polished. Never mind, but you also get hit sometimes, and you might have, you know, a dent in there or something. So that's those kind of things I think make your whole character more three-dimensional. All right, I'm going to definitely answer all your comments later on. Until then, as usual, I think it's been 20 minutes. That's enough for today. I'd love to see you again next Thursday, because next Thursday I'm going to do another live stream on Facebook, as usual at 8 p.m. Well, yeah, not as today, but as usual at 8 p.m. But of course, we cannot stop this video. We can never end this video without this one thing, and you all hopefully know what it is. Okay, wait for it. Oh, and one last thing. What did I do to get really weird and angry looks from my customers when I worked as a waitress in Australia? Well, that's a thing for a different day. See you guys.